In the somnolent embrace of New Arkham, an ancient evil stirs, roused from its slumber. Whispers borne on the frigid sea breeze carry the eerie echoes of malevolence that has lain dormant for eons. Deep beneath the waves, a titanic terror awakens, its presence permeating the minds of unsuspecting townsfolk. Like insidious seeds planted in fertile soil, madness takes root, transforming these hapless souls into grotesque shamblers. Yet amidst this encroaching darkness, a disparate group of individuals find themselves bound together by shared nightmares. Scientists, clergy, historians, and other investigators, each possessing unique skills and knowledge, must now unite their efforts. They must harness the very madness that threatens to consume them, delving into cryptic texts and traversing the perilous precipice that separates our world from the abyss of chaos. With time slipping through their fingers, our valiant heroes must reassemble the scattered pages of the Necronomicon, then seal away the harbinger of chaos before humanity falls prey to the clutches of insanity that is Cthulhu.
Well, what creepy voice do you read it in? Hi, thank you for tuning into the Tom Bottelsen Show. Yep, Tiny Epic Cthulhu. As many of you who watch this show know, I'm a big fan of Gamelin Games and the Tiny Epic line of games, and to date I have played the following. Pardon me for reading. Tiny Epic Galaxies with the Beyond the Black expansion attached, Tiny Epic Western, Dungeons, Zombies, Pirates, Dinosaurs, Crimes, Mechs, and Cthulhu now. This is a co-op game between 1 to 4 players ages 14 and up, and it will take 30 to 45 minutes. This is a Lovecraftian game, meaning from H.P. Lovecraft, and what exactly is Cthulhu? Cthulhu was an elder god, supposedly, who has lived before the dawn of time, long before humanity was here, and he rests in slumber to awaken with a bunch of other elder gods to claim the world and to get rid of all of us. And the elder gods make people go insane and become cultists usually, and then the cultists will help do the bidding of the elder ones. And then in traditional Lovecraftian lore, the investigators, normal regular human beings with individual powers and abilities, are trying to stop this from happening. So, Cthulhu. If you've looked at any board games concerning Cthulhu, there's a lot. Why is there a lot of Cthulhu games? Eldritch Horror is my favorite Cthulhu game and one of my favorite board games of all time. But then there's Elder Sign, and there's Cthulhu Death May Die, and Mansions of Madness. I mean, it's all very Cthulhu-y. Well, why? Well, the answer to your question is copyright. If it's 120 years after the original creation of the work, then it's free to anybody that wants to grab it and use it. The descendants of H.P. Lovecraft aren't getting paid anymore. That is called public domain. Public domain is when that's why you can tell a story with Sherlock Holmes in it. That's why Shakespeare's done it at all the high schools, because it's free, there's no copyright to pay, and because you don't have to pay Cthulhu. And it is a vast and rich story and stories and things you can grab. There's lots. It's easy to make a game from Cthulhu. I don't know if it's easy, but it's it's already there. They've already got the whole idea. There are elder gods. Yeah, it's already there. So Tiny Epic Cthulhu. Let's break down the game. Here's the things you need to do in Tiny Epic Cthulhu. You need to translate the Necronomicon. And how you do that is you have to go a little insane. You have to go a little insane to translate the Necronomicon. Madness is popping up all over the city. And as investigators, you go and grab the madness you need to solve the puzzle by getting the cards. You get these cards, which will have the symbols on the bottom, and eventually you'll get to fill in the Necronomicon pages, meaning you've translated it and you've read it. So you have to go a little insane in order to pull this off. The game is beautiful to look at. I loved shooting this. I loved shooting that picture right there. That's one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken. And yes, it's sitting on top of a record. That's a vinyl record. And the only reason I'm upset about it is because I couldn't complete the entire game on there. The game, once again, it's Tiny Epic. It is tiny and it is epic. There are so very, very many pieces of this game. I was going to do more of a how to play style video, but this game is rough. Not rough meaning it's hard to figure out, but we played the game after reading its wonderful little rule book and watching the Dized channel to figure it out. And we missed this much on one of the pages. And the game is unwinnable if you missed that one part. We missed it. Didn't see it. We were on the same page over and over again. When I finally saw it, I went, babe, look, see this? We played the game twice and thought the game was unwinnable. I had written my review of this unwinnable game and we were messing up. So, we really get into the rulebook of Tiny Epic Cthulhu and you'll have a much better time. It's a great puzzle solving game and the game looks brilliant on the table. I know I'm all over the place on this, but it's what I usually do when I get excited about it. When I get excited about a game. Okay, the components. I know. I love the box. And on the other side of the box, let's see if I can get that, is a dice rolling tray. You roll your dice and get a nice picture. They do this a lot with Tiny Epic games, turn their boxes into dice rolling trays, which is great. The artwork is pretty. The blues, the reds, the greens, everything is bright. It's neon in colored, which is why it looks so great on film and on camera. I love it. I love the components are amazing. Little wooden pieces, spectacular. The artwork on the cards, awesome. In the tradition of Tiny Epic games, the game is really replayable because the town cards are double-sided and you shuffle them up and deal them out, not to mention they'll be in different places. All the elder ones have different specific traits and powers. The investigators have different traits and powers, so you can shuffle that up anytime you play and you realize which are good and which are not as good. Such a fan. So where does it rank among my other Tiny Epic games that I love? Here are the Tiny Epic games that I have played, right here. Okay, this is in no particular order. Now we'll put them in order. This is my order of Tiny Epic games at this moment. Tiny Epic Galaxies with the Beyond the Black expansion is at the top and is most likely to remain there. It is my favorite little space game. My favorite big space game is Star Trek Ascendancy, but my favorite little space game is Tiny Epic Galaxies with Beyond the Black expansion. Cthulhu is further down the list, and I still love it. I still love the game. I love the way it looks. I love bringing it out on the table. It's by no means far down. I just like the other games better than the other ones. And I realized, because someone asked me, like, well, do you have all of them? And I said, no, I don't. Because sometimes I'll see them on Kickstarter and I don't want to back them. And I go, not that one. I don't know. That one doesn't speak to me. Well, I'm going to play them all. I'm buying them all right now. I've already sent away. I've got Tiny Epic Vikings I have now. And I've still got to find Tiny Epic Tactics, Tiny Epic Game of Thrones, Tiny Epic Defenders, Tiny Epic Kingdoms, which is their first one. I've not played their very first game. I'm going to play the rest of them. I will play them all, and then I will rank them all. I will do the whole things. But yeah, I can't get them to the table enough. I love the idea, and why I love them? Why I love Tiny Epic games. If a game comes in a big box, of course it's a good game. It came in a big box. It'd darn well better be a big experience if it comes in a big box. Also, if it comes in a big box and is $100, yeah. I love playing Cthulhu Death May Die, speaking of Cthulhu games. I've got 2 big boxes of it. The game is over $100. It's got a bunch of miniatures which I painted, and the game is epic, and it had better be. It's in a giant box. But if you can pull off the same experience for me as a gamer in a box this big, then I'm impressed. The story is lighter. on Tiny Epic Cthulhu. The richness of a storied background is light. And it's still a wonderful Cthulhu game. It's not Eldritch Horror or Cthulhu Death May Dire Mansions of Madness, but it is in the same level of an epic game, and I love Tiny Epic games for that. A big experience packed into a smaller box. I can put 4 or 5 Tiny Epic games in my bag if I'm going somewhere, if we're traveling, if we're going camping. I can put more than one. The kids love Tiny Epic Dinosaurs, which is just one of the cutest games ever because of the little dinosaurs. It might not be your jam, it might not be your game, but you cannot deny the cuteness of the little dinosaurs. And again, that game is an epic experience. There's so much to do and to accomplish and to get. Tiny Epic games. That is why I love them. It's in the name itself, and they pull this off, and Tiny Epic Cthulhu goes proudly on my shelf. And that'll do it for my quick review of Tiny Epic Cthulhu, for its components, for its artwork, for its epic experience. Highly recommend. It is a beautiful game to look at, and I'm very happy to own it. Like and subscribe if you like this content. Hit that notification bell so you know when my stuff drops. It drops on Sunday. I don't know what I've got coming up next. Oh, there's so much stuff to watch, so many things to get on board on. Have you seen Captain America Brave New World yet? If you haven't watched my review on that, I liked it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. More games, more movies, more nerddom, filling up our time with the fantasy that keeps us sane. Honestly, it helps keep us sane. Till I see you next time, as always, peace, love, live long, and prosper. And I mean it.